It's not the fall into the water that kills you, it's the staying in the water that will. Hi, I'm HC, and watching this video until the end will help you understand yourself deeper than you understand it now. Stay tuned. It's often difficult to tell a friend from a foe and an ally from an adversary. Despite this truth, there are methods that can be applied to avoid binding toxic relationships and associations with people that mean no good for you. This is where knowing how to cut ties with someone becomes essential. Knowing how to cut ties will help you actively improve your life experience so that you may continue to progress on your journey to fulfillment. This knowledge may also help to avoid heartache and potentially dangerous situations, in addition to helping cultivate inner peace. This is why knowing how to cut ties with someone is such an essential part of the journey to being true to you. So, without further ado, here are the steps on how to cut ties with someone. Step 1. Don't go with the flow. To go with the flow is to allow yourself to be taken with the tide without putting in any effort to digress from the situations you are being pulled into. It is to let things happen as opposed to making things happen. But, as they say, only dead fish swim with the tide. This means only those who are lifeless willingly allow things to happen to them, despite any discontent and without any form of resistance. To not go with the flow means to consider the situations you are partaking in and to trust your judgment when things begin to appear and feel unusual. This could mean questioning your true thoughts and feelings when in a relationship that is causing you more pain than joy. For example, let's say you have a friend that always demeans you and talks down on you, even in your presence. To go with the flow would mean to acknowledge the pain that you feel, but take no action towards solving that issue, in hopes that something will happen down the line to improve your situation. In this case, to go with the flow would mean to carry a certain level of resentment in your heart, yet to allow the demeaning banter to continue, thus encouraging you to endure feeling lesser than and potentially even self-sabotaging. Unfortunately, continuing in this relationship could only lead to deteriorating your life experience overall, no matter how agreeable you are and despite your long-term hopes. To not go with the flow is to take action towards what is affecting you, emotionally, spiritually, or physically. This could mean to speak up or to speak out, but this could also simply mean to let go of the situation altogether. To not go with the flow is to contest your reality and can be seen as renegotiating the terms of your current situation. Consider that time on this earth is limited. Why spend it with people that intend to desecrate that experience? Step 2. Think critically. In this context, to think critically means to ask yourself why. What would continuing this relationship mean for your future? Why did this relationship begin and how? Does the relationship still exist for the same reasons? How long would you be able to cope with this relationship if it were to continue? Are you able to be who you agreed to be at the beginning of the relationship, or has your perspective changed? What exactly are you triggered or bothered by? Can it be fixed or remedied? Always be sure to evaluate the pros and cons of a relationship that you're doubtful of. If the situation can be fixed, give it a try. Cutting someone off is only effective when it is truly the only resort to the situation at hand. For example, it's like if you're one piece of the puzzle, and ultimately, although the person in question is a piece to the puzzle, they are not the piece that connects with you, and there is nothing more that can be done about that. Step 3. Trust your gut. Always remember, your gut knows before you know. To trust your gut is to allow your intuition to guide you when you are faced with decisions that you feel must be made. Trusting your gut in this context is to become in tune with yourself so that you may override your intentions of being agreeable and not wanting to disturb that which has grown to be accepted over time. It is, therefore, to decide that you want better for yourself, and that although your mind may be a phenomenal tool that has been helping you tolerate the situation, you deserve to live with inner peace. Trusting your gut will help you accept that the decision has already been made. It is just for you to act on it. Step 4. Let go. To let go means to accept the reality of what you have been facing. Basically, to not make excuses for yourself or the person that you intend to cut ties with. This does not mean to be inconsiderate of their plight. However, this does mean to consider your own life direction and the person you intend to become. Think of your life as a bank of energy where withdrawals and deposits are possible. According to the relationship, is this person only coming to you to make withdrawals? Every time you see this person, is it to be drained of your energy? Or is it more of a balance where the person is making as many deposits of energy as they are making withdrawals? If the person is only draining all of your energy, then maybe it's time to change the pin and stop them from having access to it, for your own sake. When someone shows you their true colors, don't try to paint over it. Maybe you will meet and understand the truth of that person in the future. Maybe life and time brings you back together. But in this moment, that person and your own does not compute. In order to truly let go, this truth must be understood and accepted. Step 5. Communicate. As a wise man once said, it's not the fall into the water that kills you, it's staying in the water that will. In this context, to communicate means to have your feelings and thoughts be expressed in order to accept and contest the reality that you are facing. Basically, allowing yourself to express your displeasure with the situation so that you can move on. For the sake of the aforementioned quote, it is the choice to swim to shore despite already having been thrown into the water. Although this could include speaking of your issues with the person you are cutting ties with for closure, it does not mean to force your perspective in attempts to make them understand why you are doing what you feel needs to be done. The key to communication in this instance is letting your grievances be known if it is possible to do so. But it can also mean expressing your truth by speaking to a loved one or simply writing it down. The importance of this step is to refuse to hold that misunderstanding or resentment inside. Get it off your chest, because if you don't, it is only you that will live to grieve from it. So that's it, Howell family. Those are the 5 steps on how to cut ties with someone and start moving forward today. Thank you for watching this video until the end. You are appreciated. Post a comment below to let people know how cutting ties with someone has helped you on your journey. Like and share this video, and consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. I will see you here next time on Howell Consultations, the how-to being true to you.